My name is Clifford Chanin, and I'm the Director of Education and Public Programs here at the 9/11 Museum in New York. The original World Trade Center site was 16 acres, which, if my calculations are correct, is about 10 hectares in French geographical terms. So a very, very large space in the center of the downtown Wall Street business district in New York. Those two buildings were each 110 stories tall. Each floor was an acre square. So you had 10 million square feet, 1 million square meters roughly, of floor space in those buildings. So it really was an attempt to build the largest buildings in the world and bring companies from around the world to do business in those buildings. But once the attacks came and the buildings collapsed, it emerged very quickly in the planning process that the actual footprints of the buildings, those places where the buildings stood, were considered sacred ground, that the commitment was made very early on that there would be no building in those footprints, that they would be preserved as part of whatever memorial would ultimately emerge. So that the actual memorial on the site of the World Trade Center campus, if you will, places the two pools, the memorial pools, in the footprints of the two towers, the South and the North Towers, with the names of the victims, 2,983 victims, inscribed around on the parapets of the two pools. That number of 2,983 includes all of the victims of 9/11 on all of the planes and all of the attack sites, and also the 6 victims of the first attempt to bring down the World Trade Center, the bombing by car bomb, truck bomb, February 26, 1993. 6 people were killed there, and they're included among the names on the memorial. So that the plan that emerged came through an international competition, 5,201 entries, and the emerging winner was an entry by the name of Reflecting Absence. That was the theme of the what became the memorial. And so Michael Arad, who was a young architect living in New York, actually working for the city of New York at the time, later joined by Peter Walker, a landscape architect, had the idea that using these empty footprints of the buildings and essentially using these pools, which we think are the largest man-made waterfall pools in North America, using the frames of the pools to essentially create a frame around the empty space where the buildings once stood. And that's the key concept of the memorial, that what was once 110 stories into the sky is now preserved as an empty space in the skyline.